Greetings and welcome to Chemistry 100 Preview General Chemistry. I'm your instructor for this course, Patrick Lloyd, and I'm pleased to meet you. Hope that I can interact with you in a great way this semester, and I wish you luck in this course. What I'm going to do to begin is I'm going to ask that you go on to Blackboard, log on to Blackboard, and then go into the course content menu. And you should see in there a document that you can open for the course syllabus. If you have a problem finding that, let me know. You can also find it under the announcements. So try to get that open. And I'm just going to give you a quick break while you get that going. And once you've got that open, I'm going to go over the course syllabus with you. Okay. All right, so presumably you have it open now. You have this course syllabus open. So I'm going to open it up here myself and go over it in a little bit of detail here. And I'm going to start on the first page, which gives the information for the course. This is essentially an introductory course in chemistry. It's not a real advanced course. The mathematics you'll be doing in here is relatively simple. It's really meant to get you ready for general chemistry, Chemistry 1100 and 1200 at Kingsborough and taught throughout the country and throughout the world. So the first page gives some information about the course, some things that prerequisites and the such. It is recommended, or it's actually required, that you be taking what's called Math 900 at Kingsborough, which is college level algebra, which is essentially the algebra that's taught in the 9th grade in high school. If you're not enrolled in that or not at that math level, you might want to get in touch with me. There are student learning objectives on this first page about the different types of things. You can take a look at that. I'm going to move on to the second page, which is how to communicate with me. This is important since this is an online course. We won't be meeting physically in classroom. My name is Patrick Lloyd. I recommend that if you're going to email me, you do not use my Kingsborough address. You can, but I don't check it as frequently as my private email. My private email is listed right here at the top of the page, patrickofkings@protonmail.com. I do check it at least once a day. Office, of course, is done online, and we'll do it through Skype or FaceTime as we go through. We'll see how it works out. You can get in touch with me through texting at 347-249-5676. That's listed right there. I'm going to put course announcements on Blackboard. I will email those announcements to you, so if you check your email, your official Kingsborough Blackboard account, that's either Kingsborough or CUNY, whatever you have on file there, check that account regularly so that you get all of the announcements. And as I said, we can get in touch by texting or FaceTime or Skype at some point. At the bottom of the second page is some information about me. I started in electronics in the Silicon Valley. I got my AS degree in electronics technology. I then moved into chemistry. I got a bachelor's of science in chemistry at the University of California and then a PhD at the University of California, Riverside in analytical chemistry. I've taught for many years now introductory courses in chemistry and general chemistry and organic chemistry. And I have some industrial experience. Moving on to page 3, this is an important topic, the issue of what's called ALEKS access. You are going to do essentially all of your work that gets graded and all of the work to prepare using an online system called ALEKS. It's owned by McGraw-Hill, a major publisher, and everything's going to be done through there. So there are some instructions here on page 3 of how to start your account and follow the instructions. It does cost $85. It's a pretty good investment. It's good for Chemistry 100, this course, but also we at Kingsborough, we use it in Chemistry 1100 and 1200. So if you do the entire general chemistry sequence, it's for 3 courses, and it does include the course ebook. I am going to create another video on ALEKS in the near future, but the instructions for starting your account are here. I highly recommend that you do this first thing today, get it going, because you're going to have to start working on your homework, and there are some built-in deadlines coming up, and I'll talk about the deadlines in a moment. So get that account going. That should be your highest priority at this point. Moving on to page 4, a little bit about the course textbook. Requirements for the course. Of course, you need internet access to be able to do this course, Blackboard access, make sure your account's up and running. Presumably you wouldn't be able to see this if you weren't somehow on Blackboard. The ALEX and the textbook, the e-textbook, is included in ALEX, so that's by Julia Burge, who's the author of that textbook. We use the 4th edition here. You also need a scientific calculator. I'll have a video a little bit later in the future about scientific calculators. The course schedule. There's a brief course schedule given on page 5 here. It's based on the first 3 chapters of the Burge ebook and the ALEX online learning system. Essentially what I've done is I've broken it up into 7 weeks. And that's starting January 6th, Monday, January 6th, all the way through the final exam on Monday, February 24th, with some exams in there. The first one is January 27th, which is a Monday, and the second one is February 10th, which is a Monday. The sections that are listed here are from the ebook, so those are the sections you want to be studying during those time periods. Again, the final exam is Monday, February 24th. On page 6, people are often very interested in, well, how do we grade a course like this? The grading is based on 3 exams. There is a typo at the top of page 6. I'll try to fix that. It says that there's 4 exams, but there's only 3. There's 3 exams. Exam 1, which will cover material from chapter 1 and 2. Exam 2, which will cover material from chapter 3. And the final exam, which will cover material from exam 1, 2, and 3. The first 2 exams are exams that last an hour and 15 minutes. It says here an hour, but it's an hour and 15 minutes. It's online. And then the final exam is a 2-hour online exam. The ALEX homework assignments, which is worth 35% of your course grade. There are deadlines throughout the semester. That essentially is 35% of your grade. This course does not give letter grades A, B, C, D, F. It's based on repeat or pass. If you get above 65% for your total course score, or 65 or above, you pass the course and you're done with it. If you get below 65% of everything altogether, then it's an R for repeat, but it does not count towards your college GPA. So even if you do not pass this class, it will not lower your GPA at the college. The attendance policy on page 6 says that essentially it's going to be on you to do this all this work online, so it's expected that you would do at least 3 hours of ALEX work each week and a minimum of 3 hours on the ebook and doing homework problems and such. That's essentially just, I would call that a minimum. That's about 6 hours a week, and it depends on you as a student how much time you need to dedicate to it. The detailed description of the schedule starts on page 7. So week 1 is on page 7, January 6 through 12. It tells you essentially you want to work through sections in the ebook 1.1, 1.2, 1.3, and 1.4, and do all of the sample problems and checkpoints and such that are listed there, reading critically, trying to understand this material, and doing problems. At the end, after you read through and do the sample problems, you want to work on some end-of-chapter problems. And those end-of-chapter problems are listed there in bold, chapter 1, 1.5, 1.7, 1.13, and so forth and so on. The answers to those questions are in the textbook, so you have a way to check your answers. And then the first ALEX objective, the first homework assignment via ALEX, is chapter 1, part 1. There's 11 topics there, and the due date for that is Sunday, January 12th at essentially midnight, 11:59 p.m. Okay. Move on to page 8, and then there's the second week, and essentially it's the same kind of format as the first week. January 13th through 19th, you're going to do just 2 sections. These are a little more intense. They're a little bit more challenging what you have to learn in there. It's more mathematical. So there's only 2 sections listed there. And of course, there's an ALEX objective due date as well, Sunday, January 19th. Page 9 goes on to week 3, January 20 through 26. I'm going to scroll down to page 10, where it says week 4, January 27th through February 2. That begins with an exam. On Monday, January 27th, you'll have an hour and 15-minute exam on the ALEX platform. So you want to log in, get ready to go on ALEX, have a paper, pencil, and a calculator, scientific calculator ready. It starts at 5 a.m., so you can start as early as 5 a.m. if you're an early morning person, all the way to midnight if you want to do stuff in the evening. However, I do recommend that you don't start up like at 11 p.m. because it's going to die at midnight. So you really have to have it done by midnight, or it just locks you out of the system and you'll just be graded on what you did. Okay. If there happens to be some sort of problem, like your internet connection cuts out and you didn't complete the exam, what I will do is I will essentially drop that exam. It won't count for you, and what will happen is your final grade will be based on more on the final exam. So that can happen. Sometimes it's not your fault, but the easiest way for me to deal with it is just to count your final exam for more. Okay. And again, even though you do have an exam on that Monday, the rest of the week you're going to have to continue on the next topics, which would be section 2.6, 2.7, and 2.8. Just 2 or 3 sections each week, not that much. And then again, pay attention to the ALEX objective deadlines as well. Week 5 is on page 11, essentially the same format. Week 6, same idea, although that begins with an exam too. Week 6 is on page 12. Monday, February 12th, you'll have your second exam. Again, an hour and 15 minutes. And that's it tells you right there what those topics are going to cover. And then getting toward the end there, week 7 is February 17th through 23rd. That's essentially the end right there. That's the last week. So what happens is Monday, February 24th is the final exam. And that's where all the material will be covered on an ALEX exam. 2 hours that you have for that, again, starting at 5 a.m. to midnight. And then Tuesday, February 25th, I should have the grades done. I'll post them on CUNY first on the 25th. And then March 3rd is when spring courses start at Kingsborough. So not much of a break, just a few days for those of you at Kingsborough. And then the next page is page 14, talks about academic dishonesty. This is an online course, so make sure you pay attention to all the rules about academic honesty and dishonesty. The policy is listed there on page 14. And then on page 15 is just an indication that there will be some videos that I'm going to uplink onto YouTube. I'll post them on YouTube. And this is the first one. This one is the course introduction and the syllabus. So next I'll do one on ALEX, and then you'll see other ones coming. I want to do some problem solving for you as well. So throughout this course you'll see that there's some problem solving problems that I'm showing you, which I'll focus mainly on the ones from the ebook, the sample, practice, and end of chapter problems. If there are ones that are really interesting to you and you really do need some help with it, let me know, get in touch with me, and I might even post some of those just so that everybody can see them as well. And of course ALEX, I might do a few for ALEX as well. So again, welcome to the course. Feel free to get in touch with me, and I would suggest that because this is a winter session, it's accelerated. Kingsborough is already an accelerated program. We cover a 15-week semester in 12 weeks. But for the online, we do it even half of that, so it's only essentially 6 weeks. So you're going to have to hit this going fast so that you can find out what you're doing well in, what you're not doing well in, and then feel free to reach out to me. If I happen to be busy doing something for a day or so, please be patient with me, but text me and then I'll get back to you to let you know when I'll be available. So again, welcome, and I hope this course goes great for all of us, and I'm sure that it will.